Hey class, so a couple of takeaways for me so far in our textbook. The first one comes from the performance management book, chapter 5, and just the point about managing based upon results only is a serious mistake because results really don't say much about behavior. So it really kind of, I've never heard it put in that way before, but it does definitely make a lot of sense because um, results driven only management systems can, yes, they can produce the quote unquote right results, but the methodologies of getting there can be a little sideways, whether dishonest or just maybe not the best efforts or whatever that is. I mean, we had some case studies with that. Enron was one of those examples. So that was huge for me. The other one came out of our Principles of Management textbook, also chapter 5, the section, small little section there about value disciplines. And 3 bullet points that, in fact, these 3 bullet points were just kind of jumped out at me so much I wrote them down and took them into my work just for reference because they were really good. So, just talking about 3 bullet points of value discipline. So, the first one being operational excellence, and then product leadership, and then customer intimacy. So, those 3 bullet points really create the umbrella for all operations for a business and or nonprofit organization. So operational excellence from the perspective of the customer and from the team both in doing things the right way from their perspective. For their benefit, and then from the product leadership, whether it's a tangible product or a service, creating both of those from the perspective of what's needed and desired from the customers. And then also the probably the biggest bullet point for me of the 3 was the last one, which is the customer intimacy. I never really viewed customer relationships from the intimacy perspective, but I can definitely see the importance of that, especially now with the whole COVID thing, because most organizations are needing to look at their relationships with their customers from a different perspective because the in-person, close face-to-face contact obviously has changed, and still needing to or desiring to provide a service or provide a product to customers, but needing to connect with those customers from a different perspective. So, like my own organization that I work for, Feed My Starving Children, we were shut down for 2.5 months, and now that we're reopened, we've been doing lots of phone calls to volunteers, just letting them know that we're reopened, letting them know what we're doing now, how we're packing food, with the whole social distancing and sanitizing, inviting them to come back, and just easing their minds in terms of safety and all of that. But really, because we operate solely, our volunteers are the ones that do all of the packing. So we need our volunteers back in the packing room. So we're really connecting with them on a personal level, inviting them to come back, answering their questions, and seeing if we can send them up for a packing session. So really looking at it more on using that word intimacy. So really valuable to me. And again, I took them to work for me just as a great reminder. But hopefully those are great bullet points that'll help, and look forward to sharing more later. Take care.